going to be here for maybe about 5 minutes. So just let yourself start to settle into where you're at. Begin to connect to your breath. Start to feel some of your body soften. If you're sitting up, feel your body holding yourself up, but your shoulders soft. And if you're on your spine, just feel everything melting. Maybe you'd like to take 3 cleansing breaths with me. Breathe in through the nose as much as possible. Pause toward the top. Then open up your mouth and just let it out. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Pause toward the top. Then open up the mouth and just let it out. 1 more time. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Maybe you'd like to soften your teeth and move the jaw around side to side. Start to connect to the Ujjayi breath. That audible breath we hear as we breathe in through the nose and exhale out the nose. Let's think about taking 4 to 5 more breaths. Continue this breath movement. And just be aware if you feel any differences, even in this short amount of time of coming into your breath. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you can do so. Something for you, something special, something important. If you're sitting up, yogis, you might like to make your way down to your spine. You can take an overhead stretch. If you are already on your spine, reach the hands overhead. You can move your hips around a little bit. Anything that feels good for you. You might move into the shoulders or move and twist your wrists and ankles. Maybe another cleansing breath would be good for you. And in your own time, when you're ready, knees come in toward chest. So many options. You can grab the back of the thighs, grab elbows, grab underneath the knees on the shins. Movement, stillness, that's all up to you. But please do the best you can to stay connected to that breath, that Ujjayi breath. It's really the purpose for today's class is this is how we move energy through the body. You might like to lift your legs up toward the ceiling. Arms can go to the ceiling or overhead. Anything that feels good for you. I'm offering a lot of intuitive movements. I think they're just really needed right now. And then when you're ready, bring knees back into chest. And we're going to take a supine twist. Some people need to bring the knees over the hip bones and drop the knees toward the right. If you need a blanket underneath your legs or between the knees, always know that you can support yourself with these props. Anything goes with the arms, and come back into the breath. As you inhale, feel chest lift slightly maybe. As you exhale, you might soften. And on an inhale, bring knees back in towards center. You could lift legs back up toward the ceiling, any intuitive movement, or you can just keep the knees into the chest. And then let's take this twist to the other side. We're going to bring the knees over toward the left. You might have to bring them back toward your chest. You might have to do some alignment first. As knees fall toward the left, your right shoulder may or may not touch the floor. It's okay, don't force it, but instead use the breath. If you're just joining us, hello, and we're in a supine twist, knees toward the left. Maybe another breath. Inhale can bring knees back towards center. We can lift the legs up toward the ceiling. Maybe you like to pedal out the leg, while wobbling your legs, making figure eights slightly with the hips, and just kind of moving those legs around, like an infinity sign. And we could take happy baby. Taking a bend in your knees, grabbing the outside blade of the foot, both feet, one foot. Some people are looking for movement, and some people are looking for that stillness. Whatever you choose, pair it with the prana. Maybe you'd like to take a moment and come into the elements around you. You might feel the sun on your body. You might hear the sound of your cat purring. Take a moment to come into the senses. And then just start to let them go. Just let them start to fade away. You bring your awareness back into the breath. Gently release, the legs could go to the ceiling, arms overhead, point the toes. We can bring the knees back and toward the chest. And let your legs fall toward the right. You can roll onto your right side. Pause here for a moment in reflection. And when you're ready, make your way up to that easy seated pose. You could be facing the top of your mat. I'm just going to face the computer for obvious reasons. And take any easy seated pose that you like. Make your way onto your sit bones. You could sit on a block or a blanket if you need to do that. You could be sitting in lotus. Anything goes. But then start to come back into your breath and feel your spine lifted up. Feel your shoulders relax, but your heart is lifted. And you're breathing. We're going to inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, goddess the arms. A little bit of a back bend for some of us. Inhale the hands toward the ceiling. Exhale, goddess. One more round with your own breath. You might do 2 rounds if you move fast. But this is slow flow. We're going to try to go slow. And then take your arms, inhale, reach them forward, like you're holding a beach ball. And then bring the palms away from you as you push your arms away. Try to keep the arms out, and then add your breath in. So this just becomes a really intuitive movement, like seated cat-cow. And you can add a variation to this as much as you like. Maybe one more round. Inhale, hands back overhead. Palms face each other. Exhale, twist to the right. And then just hold that space for a moment and breathe. You might be looking over the right shoulder, you might not be. But really feel your arms pulling in those opposite directions. Inhale, hands overhead. Twist to the left. Can't say it enough. Really feel yourself reaching in 2 directions. Inhale, hands overhead. The exhale is whatever you want it to be. Hands can rest on the knees. You can take a cleansing breath and be and reflect. Just notice how those little movements affect you. What did the movement that we just did affect you in the shoulders and in the heart? Inhale, reach your spine up. On the exhale, right ear toward the right shoulder. You can stay here, add in. Right hand can rest by that left ear. Don't force it. And if you'd like to go deeper, that left hand can go down. Fingertips face your tailbone, palm down. And just don't force it, just breathe in the space. Option to tent your right fingertips and take the gaze toward that right shoulder a little bit or more. Gently release any intuitive movement that you want. Inhale, stack your spine. Left ear falls toward the left shoulder, this time taking it to the other side. Add on as you like. You can stay here or add that left hand toward the right ear. You can add that right hand in. Palm down, fingers face the tailbone. There's nothing we can really do physically here except breathe in the space. You don't want to be putting too much pressure anywhere. You just really want to be breathing. Option to tent the left fingertips, take the gaze toward the left. And gently release. Any intuitive movement that you want or stillness. Maybe one of those seated cat-cows. We're going to take the legs out in front of us. We're going to come into a forward fold. So if you need to sit on a blanket, you can continue to sit on a blanket or you can get one now. Make sure the fleshy part's out from underneath you. Sit down on your sit bones, flex your feet. You can inhale, reach your hands up. And you have two options. You could bend your knees and hinge forward. I mean, you have more than two options. I was just going to give two. And you can grab the outside blade of your feet and keep your heart lifted. You can yogi peace finger the big toe. So that here that the spine stays nice and long, and then maybe as you find your breath, you'll start to lengthen through your legs. But you don't want to sacrifice just to touch the toes. Just find a gaze. Inhale. Exhale. If the legs are straight, we're really engaging those thighs so that we're stretching through the backside of our leg. One more breath. Gently release. We're coming into a reverse plank, so if you'd like to do a little measurement, you're gonna take your forearm to the floor for a moment. Place your hand where your elbow is, and have your middle finger facing forward. I mean, this is just kind of a general cue. We can take a bend in our knees for a modified space between the knees, and then press to lift the hips up. Take a few breaths here. If you've already been in the pose for 5 breaths, because I do a lot of talking, you can always release and then come back in. Or just hold it. Your gaze is to the ceiling or maybe to the back of the room. Take another breath. And then gently press into your hands to bring the hips down. Extend the legs out, press into the hands. Maybe you straighten the arms, maybe just a little bit. And it's like a back bend here. And then release. Come onto your sit bones, forward fold. Become curious about your own bodies, yogis. What if I take another breath? What if I brace my core? What if I squeeze my thigh? What if I bend my knee? Final breath. Gently release and take that modified reverse plank or the full variation, still the same setup, base of big toes touch. And this time, press into hands, maybe the soles of your feet come to the floor. Squeeze your glutes, press into fingertips. Can you take another breath in the shape? Press into the hands to release. Maybe find that mini back bend, flex your feet. And release. It's going to be a forward fold. Just let the breath guide you. If you start to feel a little dizzy, you can always pause, you can always sit, you can always come to child's pose. Maybe it's just a sign to slow down. Two more breaths. Release into your favorite variation of that reverse plank. Try to take 5 breaths. Keep pressing feet down, squeeze glutes, release. Maybe find that back bend action. Flex the feet, press sit bones down, lift the heart, press into hands. And gently release. Pause in reflection. You can relax the feet, palms can face up on your thighs. Maybe take a cleansing breath. Just notice. Just be. Soles of feet can come together for Baddha Konasana, bend angle pose. Or you can make the diamond. They're different sensations completely. So the diamond, my legs are going to be a little bit longer. You can put blankets underneath you if you need to. Blocks, obviously, all that stuff goes. Or the feet can come in a little bit more. Everyone's different. I feel it more in my hips here. If I take it out, I feel just a little bit more down the whole side of my leg or my IT band. So figure out which works best for you. You can stay lifted. You could forward fold. If you forward fold and you need a block for your forehead, get it. And we're going to be here for maybe 10 breaths or so. Palms can be up in front of you. Palms could be behind you and up. Palms can be down. So experiment with that and figure out what's going to be best for you. We have the luxury of being at home, so if you need a pillow or a bolster to fold forward, of course, you can always grab your prop. Feel that breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. cultivate the power of your mind as you breathe here. Some people, I mean, I love this piece. I could be here easily 15 minutes. Some people, this is intense space. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. If you're not in pain, try to take just a few more breaths. Gently start to roll your spine up. Head could be the last thing to come up. You could bring the knees together or keep them where they are. If you're already seated up, that's fine. You could just stay where you're at. Maybe you'd like to take a cleansing breath, and I'm just going to ask you to pause again and let what we just did resonate. How did that pose make you feel? Or how did you feel in that pose? Was it hard to breathe? Was it easy to breathe? Was the mind kind of crazy? Was the mind still? If the knees are apart, gently bring them back together. Take the legs behind you, downward facing dog or turbo dog. Knees can be bent, blocks could be under hands. Stillness or movement, yogis, this is completely up to you. Take 5 breaths. You might enjoy stillness. You can make a yes notion or a no notion with your head. Engage the core, press into your fingertips. If you're in turbo dog, maybe make your way to down dog. Engage your thigh muscles. Walk the hands backwards towards the feet. Travel with blocks if you need to. Bend your knees when appropriate. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach hands overhead. Palms touch and hold that space. Work on rooting down to rise. Squeeze glutes, press hips forward. Gaze could be to the thumb. Press feet down, reach fingertips up. Squeeze glutes, engage core, find pranayama. Hands come to heart. Hands by the side. Inhale, reach hands overhead. Forward fold. Half lift. Forward fold. You can separate the feet hips distance if that feels good for you. Take ragdoll or your favorite variation of this type of forward fold. Relax the neck. Come back to breath. This is super challenging for you. We're here for about 5 breaths, but you could stack blocks if you needed to let your forehead be on. So I take one more breath. Inhale up halfway. Take the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers or grab the forearms or just work toward that intention. Forward fold. Maybe consider bending your knees so that your low ribs or your belly is touching your thighs. You can relax the head. What are you thinking about? Can you bring that mind back into the breath? Feel the inhale. Feel the exhale. One more. We can tuck chin to chest. Inhale up halfway. Gently release the hands. Inhale, hands overhead chair. Exhale, fold. Downward facing dog. Look between the hands and float down onto the knees. And then come all the way up. So we're on our shin. We're going to inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Take the left hand behind you, palm faces away from you. So it's like this. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we're going to fold. Bring your right ear to the floor. Bring the right hand behind you. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. One more time. Inhale up. And release. Take the right hand behind you, palm faces away, left hand up. Exhale, fold. Left ear toward the floor. Inhale up. Exhale. One more. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. And release. Inhale, both hands overhead, palms can face each other. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, expand the arms, reach up. Exhale, goddess. One more. Press your shins down here. That's what's grounding us. Hands up. And then release tabletop. Cat cows. You can come to floor arms for your cat cows or stay on your hands. Any intuitive movement. About 4 more breaths. If you'd like to add in some dancing lions, you take your hips all the way out, shift forward. You can move the neck and the arms around as much as yogi like. Push back for child's pose. Knees together for some little bit of flexion or knees wide apart for some length. It's just whatever you need. Knees together, maybe hands can go by the feet, palms up or not. Reflect in that space. Wonderful yogis, gently release downward facing dog. High onto your toes, heels toward the right. You can bend your right knee if you need to. Take a breath. If the legs are straight, really squeeze your thigh. Inhale, high and toes through center. Heels toward the left. High through center. Heels down through the midline. Right heel sweeps up for 3-point. Try to find an even weight distribution between left foot and hand. Engage your core, come into the breath. Notice how the breath and the mind are a little different here. Right foot steps forward, low crescent lunge. You can grab the pointy parts of your elbow, little bend to the right, little bend to the left. Reach the hands toward the ceiling. Bring the right foot, runner's lunge. Right foot steps to down dog. Left foot sweeps up, 3-point. One more breath. Low crescent lunge. Alternate grab of the elbows. Can you remember what that grip was like, and can you flip it? Little bend to the left, little bend to the right. Breathe in center. Runner's lunge. Down dog. Cleansing breath if you need it. Final balance. Left foot up, right hand up. If this is challenging, maybe left toes, right pinky, or you're working toward the balance. Down dog. Other side. Down dog. Gaze goes between the hands, and let's practice tippy-toeing to the top of the mat. Come high into the toes, look between the hands, flex your right toes, bring them forward, toes touch, go high onto the right toe. Flex your left toe, left foot forward, left toes to the floor, flex right foot. Bend your knees when you need to, come to the top. It's halfway lift when you get there. If you're working those toe tap touches, then you might take a little longer forward fold. Another breath or two. Inhale for half chair or skier, some people call it. Hands are back, half chair. Inhale to chair. Tadasana, straighten the legs, hands to heart. Hands by the side. Just reflect. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Reach the hands to the right and to the left. Take them behind you, add a bind. Inhale, halfway. Release the hands to the right and to the left. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Right foot steps back, low crescent lunge. Drop the right knee. Inhale, hands up. You can stay right here. You can add the back bend. It's up to you. Back bending, you might interlace the fingers, release the first finger, let your head go back. Little sips of breath. If you took the back bend, stabilize through center. Hinge forward. Hands behind you, palms face each other. Press into left heel, half split. Left toes could point to the ceiling. If you need your hands to frame, go ahead. Everybody takes hands to frame, point left toes toward the floor, or move that left foot around if it feels good for you. Add a twist, right hand to floor or block, left hand up. Option to bend that left elbow and bring the hand toward the head. Reach left hand back up to ceiling. Bring it down to frame the left foot. Bend into your left knee. Runner's lunge. Stay here or add a twist, right hand down, left hand up. Gaze can be to the left or to the right. Squeezing your glutes and your legs. Lift up out of the right hand, press into the right fingertips. Left hand comes down to frame the leg. Look forward, step right foot to meet left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. About 2 more breaths. Inhale, halfway. Step left leg back, low crescent lunge. Add the back bend if you are. You got to keep lifting your heart up to go back. Find something to focus on. Stabilize through center. Everybody hinges forward. Take hands behind you. Palms face each other. Half splits. Press into that right heel. Frame the foot. Maybe point the right toes. Or take a different variation. Get the most out of this moment by breathing and by squeezing your thigh muscle and keeping spine long. Add the twist. Left hand to block or floor, right hand up. Option to bend that right elbow. Reach right hand back up, frame right leg. Runner's lunge. Tuck left toes. Add the twist, left hand down, right hand up. Runner's lunge, left foot steps to meet right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Take a few breaths. A lot of times on my inhales, I get a little bit more length, and then I go back in. Work whatever space that you're in. Can you take another breath? And we inhale, hands overhead. Palms touch, hold the space. Root down to rise. Hands to heart. Hands by the side. Reflect. Eagle pose, inhale, hands overhead. Right arm under left arm, cross the elbows, maybe again at the wrists. Sit down and pick your right leg up high as you can over the left leg. Maybe. That's it, Chandra, very nice. Beautiful, Lindsay. Pressing palms together, squeezing everything in toward your midline. Very nice. Sitting down low. Think about leaning your spine back and pulling the fingertips below the nose and forward is just another variation. And take one more breath. Release. Inhale, reach the hands up overhead. And then we switch. Left arm is going to go under right. Find the cross or just work toward the space as you sit down. Left leg up, reaches nice and high over right leg this time. That's it. Squeezing everything in toward the midline. That weight's in that right heel. Any amount counts. Find something to gaze at for your balance. And release. Hands reach overhead. Forward fold. Separate the feet maybe as far as your mat. You can take yogi squat, or you can move the hips around circles. So it's just what intuitive movement would feel good for you. If you'd like to play with an arm balance, be my guest. If you'd like to take crow, or if you'd like to work on those binds. If you do a bind on one side, take it to the other side. If you're in crow and it's easy, maybe you add crow taps. You flex the foot and tap the wrist, and then you would do it to the other foot. You can work those toe taps. I was going to say toe craps because of crow and taps. And then gently release wherever you are and take it into that short down dog or forward fold. To pedal the legs out. Bring the feet back together. Hips distance or big toes touch, and we find halfway lift. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Right leg steps back, low crescent lunge. So you can work the back bend, you can stay here. And I know it's like, oh my God, we have to keep doing these poses. But that's how you get into those deeper spaces is repetition, consistency, breath. That's how we do it. If you are already a back bender, you can just, instead of doing the finger grip, in the intermediate series or advanced series, they'll put their palms together, maybe cross at the thumb, and work it that way. But you gotta keep pressing your palms together. It's different. Either way, wherever you're at, come back up through center. Here we go. Hands to heart, twist to the left, maybe hook that right elbow. Modify side angle. And let's just breathe here, enjoy the twist. Of course, you could open arms or not. You can make this standing if you really wanted to. Inhale through center. Frame the left foot. Runner's lunge. We're coming into standing split. So you're going to shift the weight forward and pick that right leg up, point the toes. Try to keep an internal hip rotation. Try not to open up, even though it's super tempting. You want that right hip to face the floor. And work over time your nose towards your left shin, pushing that left foot down and really squeezing that left thigh. Maybe the hands come toward the back of that left foot. Take another breath. And we're coming into stork. So take that gaze forward. We're going to come to standing. Hands can be overhead. Flex your right foot. Right hand to the waist, or you can take it into a dancing Shiva. You can twist toward the right. One more breath, wherever you're at, any amount is good. We're coming into grounded warrior 3. Go ahead and move into the shape. Hands can come to heart as you extend that right leg out, or hands can be on the floor. I really like bringing hands to the floor. I just feel way more stable and that I could really engage my muscles. But if you do it all the time with correct form, you probably don't have to. Crescent. Warrior 2. So for this one, I'm going to ask you to have your palms face the right. And bring that right thumb toward the floor. There we go. So your palm faces behind you. Take that right hand between the shoulder blades, the best that you can. Maybe bend into left knee. And then reverse it. Come back into a warrior 2. Window the hands, frame left foot, runner's lunge. Right foot steps to meet left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half chair. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Take a few breaths. Inhale, halfway lift. Step the right leg back. Low crescent lunge. Pull it into half splits. Left toes can point toward the ceiling. Option to walk your hands toward the left. You can stay here or take it into a modified revolve triangle. That's it, yogis. Gently release. Frame the left foot. Bend into the left leg. Runner's lunge. Add the twist. Right hand down, left hand up. Frame left foot. Right foot steps to meet left. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands overhead. Palms come to heart center. Hands by the side. Take a moment, take a breath. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, fold. Half lift into forward fold. Take a couple breaths. Half lift. Left leg back. Low crescent lunge. Back bend of your choice. Inhale up through center, hands to heart, twist to the right. Take a few more breaths. If the arms are open, hands to heart. Inhale through center. Runner's lunge. Standing split. Left toes point, left foot goes up. You're squeezing your thighs and you're rooting into that right foot. Taking a few more breaths. Stork. You can add a twist, maybe left hand to the waist, maybe right hand toward the outside of the left leg or that dancing Shiva. Warrior three. Hands can be to the floor or to heart center, or to block. Crescent. Warrior two. So we're gonna have the palms face the left. And then take that left thumb toward the floor and bring it between the shoulder blades. You can reverse it. Warrior two. Runner's lunge. Left foot steps to meet right. Inhale halfway. Exhale fold. Halfway. Left leg back. Low crescent lunge. Hands behind you, move into half split. Frame the right foot. You can stay here or take it into revolved triangle. Release, bend back into right leg. Runner's lunge, add the twist. Frame the right foot, left foot steps to meet right. Inhale halfway, exhale fold. Inhale half chair. Inhale chair. Tadasana, straighten legs, hands the heart. Hands by the side, separate the feet, and just breathe. And just notice where you feel the energy in your body. Inhale, hands overhead, forward fold. Step it into down dog. Look between the hands, come down onto the knees, and take puppy. Keep in mind all your options. Block under the head or hands in by the face, elbows up a little bit. You can go into deeper variations if you have them and you want to do them. Such as pointing the toes toward the butt and grabbing the heels. Your arms are pretty open, so is your spine. But that might not be happening today, or tucking the toes and lifting the legs up. One more breath wherever you're at. And release all the way down onto the belly. Crocodile. Palm over palm, elbows out to the side. Relax the leg. So we're going to come into a one-arm stretch. You can come in through feet if that helps you for a moment. We're going to extend that left arm out and take the right hand across the chest, palm down. Try not to let that right shoulder shift too far forward. And then you could add the left arm in, or keep that left hand out, or even left hand a little closer to you. Relax your head to blanket, block, floor. You could tuck your toes and shift yourself forward, especially if you're using both arms. Gently wiggle out of the pose. You could take a seal, a sphinx, or crocodile. Any intuitive movement. And move into the shape on the other side. So this time the left hand's going to curl across the body the best that we can have it. And make your way into your shape, whatever that looks like. To deepen the sensation, feel your palms pressing down. You might not need to feel a deeper sensation. Gently release the pose. Once again, crocodile, sphinx, feel, intuitive movement. Release onto your belly. Reach the hands overhead and roll onto your spine. Full body stretch. Knees into chest. Left leg goes long, keep right knee in. You can flex your left foot, squeeze left thigh, keep elbows in close to the body. Head on the ground, but look toward the chest. Engage your core, supine twist. Right knee over the hip, right leg toward the left. You could go into cat pulling a tail if you have it and you want it. Your left hand could grab the outside of your right foot and you could extend it all the way. Your left foot could go behind you and you could grab the toes with the right hand. You don't have to. This is just fine. One more breath. Step by step, start to release your pose and meet me on the spine. Right knee into chest, right leg goes long. Both knees into chest. Bring your knees over your hip bones and your calves parallel to the floor, supine tabletop. Squeeze your knees together and take your feet apart. Try to keep the calves parallel. Don't go too far. This might feel good for you, this might not, so just always honor your body. Feet together, knees to chest, legs to ceiling. Knees to chest, right leg long, left knee in. Supine twist. Any variation. Gently release the pose. Coming back onto your spine. I got distracted because a hornet almost flew in. I'm like, what did we even do now? That really took me out of my space. And so just find that evenness on your left side. And either way, let's let that left leg go long. Knees in toward chest. Stack the knees over the hips. And take your feet apart. Knees into chest. Legs to the ceiling. And you might like to add in a happy baby, or if you need any other movement, if you want plow or whatever you need, you can always do, especially since you're in the comfort of your own home. And start to let your mind prepare for Savasana. Take any shape that's going to be best for your rest. On the back, knees bent, or on your belly. Start to let your jaw soften. So let go of the pranayama, the ujjayi breath. Maybe you'd like to take a cleansing breath. Let your shoulders soften in your face. Let your eyes soften. Air represents breath, the vital process through which our cells are kept alive. The Hindus call it prana. In yoga philosophy, prana is referred to as a vital energy in and of itself, a basic unit from which all life is made. This energy represents an interface between the physical world and the mental world. The mind, if it wishes to influence the body, can do so through the control of breath. Likewise, control of the breath can quiet the mind. Prana is considered a vital link between the two, just as the heart chakra is the integrator between upper and lower chakras. Following your breath is the key to release suffering, to help harness the power of the mind, and to open up the center of unconditional love within you. You can stay in Savasana as long as you like, yogis, or you can start to bring some awareness back into the body, fingers, toes, ankles, maybe an overhead stretch or a cleansing breath. You could roll to your favorite side if you like that, and then gently make your way up to an easy seated pose. Hands could be at heart center or on the knees, whatever you like. And just take a moment to feel the blessings of being alive. Maybe you'd like to bring one hand to your heart, both hands to your heart, one hand to the belly. And just feel your heart. Continues to beat, and it's been beating ever since the moment you were brought here. And it doesn't stop. So maybe just take a moment to thank it, to thank your heart. Maybe you'd like to tell your heart that it can let go of some things. Maybe there's something that needs to be revealed to you. If you'd like to, you can bow your chin towards your chest. Maybe you'd like to whisper to yourself that you love yourself. Just tell yourself, I love you. Because when we can tap into that unconditional love for ourselves, we can share it with other people. And until then, sometimes it's just a big old game of suffering. Thank you, yogis, for practicing with me today. I really appreciate it. I'm thankful that you log on because it really does help me stay consistent as well. I'm so thankful. And I hope that you are doing okay during this time. And if you need anything, please reach out. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Namaste. Namaste.